Okay, 40K enthusiasts, let's talk about unit efficiency. We're making our way through starting 40K Tactica podcasts. I want to push these up into the archive. We're going to link them. We're going to label them. So this way, if you're coming to my blog in the far future, they will be there regardless of army, regardless of codex, regardless of faction, to kind of give you some starting points. And of course, we're going to kind of review stuff. I have to get back to Tyranids. I'm feeling really bad because I love space bugs, and we've got to do so much more with them. Now that I've uncovered my warriors from back in my gaming closet, I'm ready to kind of leverage and push just see what I can do with lots and lots of warriors. I've got like 22 or 23, 24 warriors on there. So this idea of a 40K toolkit, a lot of us, the Holy Grail, myself included, we're looking for that like one overwhelming, very, very powerful thing to overwhelm our opponent on the table, right? The Death Star, the big decisive final push, the final blow. That's what 40K is about. And we're going to try and do that. I'm going to try and do that. But what we want to have is this idea of multiple little tactical elements running, like subroutines, some programs, chapter approved, pushing through, giving us slight advantages every turn. Your opponent may be aware of them. Your opponent might not be aware of them. But the idea is we're going to try and insulate ourselves from the swing of the dice. 40K being a D6 system, it works, it's fun, but there's not enough variance between a 1 and a 6, even with then rolling multiple other D3 dice or adding dice onto it or increasing the dice. Sometimes the dice are going to work against you. You've been there. You've been there. I mean, the one example from a recent game, and I felt a little bad, but not really. A friend of mine who plays Necrons was looking to kind of branch into Grey Knights. So I'm like, okay, well, my Grey Knight list is heavily tailored for how I like to play, but borrow the army for a bit. Just play it out, see what it is. And so he was borrowing it, he's playing it. And then I was like, hey, let's play a game. I'd love to throw my Chaos army up against my Grey Knight army. So let's kind of do that. And I roll up, so we're playing, and he has a full strike squad there. I roll up with 10 Chaos Space Marines, bolters, and a Meltagun. I pop out of the Rhino, get into position. I double tap him. I roll like insane. It's been years since I've rolled like this. I mean, I hit with like everything. I think I missed like 2 dice. Okay, wound, massive amount of wounds. Armor saves, fails, all of them. I wipe out like 8 or 9 Grey Knights. And when that happens, you're like, what the heck? It was like a chaos drive-by in there. So yes, look, that's going to happen. That's what we want to protect ourselves from. And I when I say protection, I mean this idea that if I have these little tacticas running, at least I can hold out to the next turn or two. So unit efficiency, that's kind of the foundation, the framework there of what we're trying to do in these next couple of podcasts. I have 10 Space Marines. I like to use Space Marines as the currency of our discussions because chances are you've played Space Marines, you have them, you play a Space Marine army. You fought against Space Marines, I guarantee it if you're a Xenos player on there or a Trader, Chaos Space Marines Trader player. And there's a good chance, based on Games Workshop statistics, that you will be playing and starting a Space Marine army in the next 9 to 18 months on there. So it's a good kind of currency we can all relate to, even the Space Bug players, Tyranid players. You guys kind of, we understand Space Marines. So I have a squad of tactical Marines. I've got the special, I've got the heavy, I've got the Sarge all jacked up. That generates a set volume of dice. That volume of dice based on points and power level. It's not a 100% equation. It's kind of a rough equation. But this idea that based on the power level, based on the points, if I roll average, I should be able to really affect a similar unit. So if I have my Chaos Space Marine unit across from your Marines, if you shoot at me and it's an average dice roll, if you do above, great. If you do less, well, okay. Average dice roll versus my average dice roll, you are going to inflict 1/3 losses on me. That's why it's so important if you can get the jump on someone first and shoot them before they can shoot you. That is a tactica in itself, just rolling average. If you roll really good, the Emperor blesses you, or the Dark Gods, and you take out half my squad, that's even better. So we look at the efficiency of a unit, and say, while it's strong, while it's up there, it can affect similar units in this capacity. Now you start taking losses. The volume of dice that you can generate, and volume of dice means it's an interesting kind of exercise. Before you shoot your next game, so you've got your Marines there, take out the dice and separate them and say, okay, here's the bolter shots, here's the heavy bolters, here's the flamer, here's the plasma gun. Put those dice down next to the unit. Segment them out. Put those dice down. That is your volume of dice that this unit can generate. Now as you take losses, you lose some Marines, some stuff happens, you start pulling those dice away. Well, now you can't affect as much. So if you shoot into my Space Marine squad and you've got 5 Marines left, it's not going to be as potent. Because remember, you got to hit, you got to do the wounds, I got to make my armor saves. If I have a secondary thing going on based on the army, feel no pain or some sort of regeneration protocols,